What is going on, guys? Kage here. Actually showing my face for once. Surprise, surprise. I'm doing something a bit different today. We're going to be reacting to the Armored Core 6 trailer a little bit late to the party. I know the Game Awards was last week, so, it is what it is, but this franchise actually holds a special place in my heart, and I wanted to do something different. So I actually read this article on IGN before I even watched the trailer. I haven't fully seen the trailer yet. I just read this article just to kind of get a bit of background on this. So let's actually hop right into it. Okay, so right here, it looks like some sort of cataclysmic event. From what I read in the article, the companies that, I shouldn't say companies, the forces that occupy this planet, they're fighting over some mysterious resource, and their use of the resource, they're fighting over it, pretty much caused a cataclysm on the planet. And the game kind of takes place after that, where they're still sort of fighting over it, but they've pretty much kind of decimated the planet, pretty much, at least from what I've read. So let's get back into it. So I'm here post processing. My audio cut out, so I had to start from scratch here. But let's actually run through this trailer in a bit more in depth here. So if we look and go back here, this appears to be after the fires take over Rubicon. So look here. This appears to be a mech scavenging through the ruins, a survivor of the cataclysm. Um, it's confirmed this is going to be a bit of a post-apocalyptic game. Many of the Armored Core series are like that. If you look here, you'll see this mech is a quadruped. That's something that's pretty common in Armored Core. That's just one of many like leg options you can choose actually. Um, that's super cool. That's a really cool use of artillery there. And that's actually new. I've never, at least in any one that I've played, I've never seen an energy shield like that. So that'll definitely be dope to see. And I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. It's hard to tell what happens there. That was just a boost. And then there's this giant heavy artillery machine. And it looks like some more tanks of some sort are getting dropped off. And again, here are the airships. Let's fast forward a bit here. Yep, whole squadron of ACs. This AC here looks actually really cool. I like the design of the head portion. It's awesome. Looks like that one might be the main guy here. It seems to be the one that gets a bit of show. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the series, the mechs are called ACs, so armored cores. Typically, these games deal with different corporations, sometimes governments fighting one another. I believe this one will be focused around specific corporations fighting over the resources of the planet, like I said earlier. One thing to note here, this particular armored core is not being headed by Miyazaki. It is being headed by Masaru Yamamura, I believe his name is, and he is the lead designer for Sekiro, actually. So Sekiro is a great game, so I do have high hopes for this. For those of you who've been like looking at articles and things, a lot of people have been like saying like, "Oh, this won't be Soulsborne," or "Oh, will this have Soulsborne type gameplay?" Uh, for those of you who don't know anything about Armored Core, the answer to that is no. It won't be like Armored Core. I'm sorry, it won't be like Souls at all, because this game is essentially it's not an open world. Armored Core has always been very focused, mission based single player type gameplay. And really, the main focus is around the gunplay, really customizing your mech to best suit the needs of the mission, or best suit the needs of your playstyle. But also, there's a balance between having a mech that can complete the mission, but also having a mech that kind of fits your playstyle. So there's a lot of customization involved with your weapons, the parts you use, and it's really focused on the shooting aspect. So that's one thing to call out. There will be no such Soulsborne gameplay here. It was confirmed that boss battles will play a big part in this one, however, and also it was confirmed that this game will be kind of essentially almost a reboot of the franchise. It is the sixth Armored Core, but this one's kind of a return to form, if you will. It'll kind of go back to that classic feel of Armored Core 1 and Armored Core 2. So the Armored Core 5, I believe they tried to do some crazy multiplayer thing. They're going to do that this time around. They're really focusing in on what makes this franchise special. And they're trying to, just take things back to basics. And sometimes that's what you have to do. You can't go too crazy. You got to go back to what worked. And, there will be versus gameplay. Typically, most Armored Cores have had that. There will be versus gameplay. So you can look forward to that. You can there'll probably be some semblance of one-on-one online combat. Yamamura did confirm that while their focus is the single player, they will reveal multiplayer later on. So that is one thing to note. I'm particularly excited about this game because if you look at this question here, From Software has more resources. They've made a ton of money off of these Dark Souls games, these you know Bloodborne, Sekiro, especially Elden Ring. Now that they have more capital to help push towards a franchise like Armored Core, they can do a lot more with the game, and they can make it even better than it's ever been, especially with the newer technology that's out today. There hasn't been an Armored Core game in 10 years, maybe? So most people don't know about it, which is why you get questions like this where people are like, oh, is it trying to be a Soulsborne game? The answer to that is no. It's not. It's not like that at all. It does have an apocalyptic world similar to those games, but the darkness and the mystery, the darkness, as said here, that's just kind of that's just a FromSoft thing. That's something they kind of thrive in. That doomsday apocalyptic scenario, darkness, mystery. Even the old Armored Cores, they were pretty dark games, I would say. None of them were ever really light. I would say Elden Ring is probably the most vibrant, light from soft game I've ever played. So yeah, I mean, if you're new to this series, you've never heard of it like a lot of people, I definitely recommend checking out some old gameplay. I would particularly check out Armored Core 2. That's probably a good example that's not too old and painful to look at. I mean, it is super old because it's PS2, but it doesn't look so bad that you'll be like, ugh. Because I think the series kind of started falling off after maybe Armored Core 3. But 1 and 2, those are the heavy hitters. If you can stomach some old pixelated gameplay, definitely check out Armored Core 1. But yeah, a lot of the combat will be focused around the gameplay there. So that's it, man. That's it. We slowed it down. These are some of the stills from the video that we just previewed. So yeah, I'm super looking forward to this. I've always been a fan of mechs. Glad to see this franchise is coming back. Now all we need now is to get Kojima to do another Zone of Enders, but I don't think that's possible because it's Konami. But yeah, I'll leave the link to this article if you guys want to read more about this. Yeah, just wanted to do a breakdown of the trailer and looking forward to more reveals of this. So peace out.